Hello, party people. Yeah, we're doing this again. 4 more to go. Well, 5 if you count this one, because I haven't technically started the review yet. But let's do that right away. Fuck. Yeah, oof. Must we start with the not attractive songsters? This is... I'll give it one good thing. At least it's actually accompanying a scene between the best actor, definitely now remaining in the show, after Lucas Haas was written out last episode. It's not a bad interaction between these two. You can really see that Gleeson is actually... If he's natural, if this isn't Gleeson actually putting forth effort, he is a far better actor than Nicolas Cage. Which, I don't want to call Nicolas Cage a Nepo baby for getting his Oscar, but he is a Coppola. Just saying. But to be fair, Cage actually does... He's not phoning it in this scene. And there's at least one scene later that he's not phoning it in. And all I said here was that this was a decent scene between Gleeson and Cage. This, on the other hand, the disjointedness continues. Why does she fall apart now? Why now? Why at this point? It has been at least hours since Winston was shot in front of her, and apparently another guy as well, though we don't actually see him getting shot. The cliffhanger that then takes us to a completely different scene. Stop doing that. That is... It's not quite a rug pull, but it's so annoying that so many productions now are doing it. It's just irksome, more than anything else. The disjoint has been at least hours, including a wardrobe change. Yeah, the character had to go through a wardrobe change as part of her job before her performance. There must have been a better time to show her conscience, regret, fear, whatever it is, causing her to fall apart like this. Especially when you consider her behavior later in the show, in this episode. Yeah. Okay. In this scene, Riley comes in hungover because he spent the night drinking with Silvermane. And I'm more annoyed at these two just gabbling at him at the same time. They're literally talking over each other. Why? It's a television production, not a fucking Discord chat. Why are you allowing characters to talk over each other? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, they could be competing, but the way the sound is set up in this scene, it's almost like it's a single track into a single microphone, and it gets completely garbled. I have no idea what either one of them said, and I didn't care enough to rewind to find out. Yeah, he's hungover, and I find these two nattering at him simultaneously irksome. Excuse me. Gleeson, on the other hand, Gleeson continues to be, well, now, and I did say here, especially after Lucas Haas has been written out, to be the best actor in this entire series so far. He is doing a masterclass in how to act. He is naturally vile and naturally evil. It is so nice to see him on screen, especially when he gets a chance to more or less monologue. Doesn't happen often, generally only 4 or 5 lines at a time, but dear God, it is so enjoyable to watch him work. And I mean, I'll cite 2 movies that I've seen him in before that I actually really enjoyed. And I didn't really enjoy them on the level that I do now, because now I'm doing criticism. I'm thinking I should probably go back and do those 2 movies. One of them I could do for a Terra Nova Tuesday. The one I could do for a Terra Nova Tuesday is called The Grand Seduction. It's set and shot in Newfoundland. And it's him as the head of a town trying to attract a doctor to permanently attract a doctor. The actor I actually watched it for was Taylor Kitsch, who I actually really enjoy watching as well, and I think he's been ripped off on so many bad action movies. Ugh, 'tis what 'tis. Yeah, Gleason continues to be the best actor in this, yeah. The other movie that I was talking about is called, if I recall correctly, on this side of the Atlantic, it's called The Guard. I don't know if it had a different name in Ireland or England. It was shot and set in Ireland, and it is such a good movie to watch. There's a lot of humor to it, but Gleason is definitely the star of the show in that. And he plays an Irish cop, a member of the Garda. It's really good. He's a bit corrupt in that, too. Let's see. Moving on to... yeah, this is not one of the scenes where Nicolas Cage impressed me. Cage continues to make very, very odd choices. I'm guessing Nzinga Stewart, the director, the young... Well, I won't say young, she's 2 years older than me. I'm going to guess she was intimidated by working with a legendary talent like Nicolas Cage. Because I wouldn't have shot this, let alone let him get on like this. He's holding he's mimicking an old movie, which he's obviously seen several times before, to the point that he's memorized the dialogue. I don't think that happened a lot in the Depression era. People saw the same movie over and over and over again. But he's holding a hot dog like a telephone, and mimicking, or more accurately, reciting the dialogue on screen as it's coming through for one of the other characters. My only thinking is that the director must have felt too intimidated to stop him and go, "What the fuck are you doing, Nick?" I wouldn't have that problem, which is probably why I'd never actually get a job in Hollywood. Fuck. But allowing your actor to do this, to run roughshod in a scene, in a show where millions of dollars are on the line, I can't fathom that. And the only thing I can think, like, her credits, she has 53 credits on IMDb. To be fair, from 97 to 2013, it's fairly spotty. Like, there's a couple of points where I think there's a 4-year gap between her work, at least her credits, where she's credited as a director for music videos. And she did some big ones, but I don't get it. Yeah, this seems to be the highest budget thing she's done that I spotted. I could be wrong. I wasn't really looking real hard once I realized, oh shit, look at all the spots. There's a lot of breaks in between her work as a director. So, I don't know. And it's really hard to say. I mean, I did say, think about this scene, and I'll say it again about this one. The cinematography in this is actually really nice. Granted, it's black and white, but the focus is just right. The way that they've got... I'm relatively sure this is CG, with placing Cage in the mirror like this, but it's a good frame. It's very well done. It's good visual storytelling. In a way, it's almost like he's a reflection of her in terms of the way they're storytelling in this shot. It's very much not the way it is in the film, in the story. But I said decent cinematography. I like the use of reflective elements of the environment in the visuals, framing the visuals, and I very much do. I do absolutely appreciate that. There is a borderline boring scene. Well, it's not even borderline. It's well, the borderline is it's boring to the point of wanting to turn it off. This scene, where the two of them, again, are still engaged in a dialogue. They've just moved it to a different place, which I can kind of understand. But Where am I here? Yeah, amongst all this exposition and tell don't show. Yeah, they did a lot of tell don't show about Flint Marko here, calling him honorable and loyal and all this kind of stuff. But then, yeah. And I did say there was some halfway decent acting in this. I'm trying to do the compliment sandwich, and it just isn't going to happen. Speaking of Flint, I said I was still intrigued by these abilities. Flint actually catches Cat in this scene, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of this. I don't recommend you people watch this show. I recommend you listen to me, listen to somebody else who's reviewing this. Don't watch the show. Don't give it your time. I'm sorry I gave it my time. And now, because I'm such a fucking completionist, I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to be happy about it. But yeah, and for the love of God, I do not understand how the rating for each episode got higher, unless it was a case of anticipating the final end and not having to watch it anymore. Yeah, I said I was still intrigued by these abilities and the writing depth of Silvermane. The fact, whoever wrote Silvermane did such a great job. I'm honestly wondering if Gleason himself, having, and as I spoke about, the director not really seeming to be able to rein in Cage, I'm thinking Gleason may have done more or less the same thing, basically kind of run his own character a little bit. He did a great job. Like, his acting, if he's making the choices for a villain, it's comic book, but it's not cartoonish. It's just a pinch of melodrama. Just a pinch. Just enough to make you go, okay, that's obviously an over-the-top villain. But it's one of those things where you just put that last drop of water in the cup, and it went bloop. That's the over-the-top nature of this, just barely. He's not chewing the scenery. Well, anyway, I can bloviate about Brendan Gleeson all day. And then, of course, the writing has to be absolutely fucking tits up. Again, the writing is so all over the place. The logic of Lonnie agreeing to go with Robbie to talk to him, and then refusing to, is so broken. But 3 seconds later, it tells you why this is happening. Now, I will point out, Lonnie Lincoln is listed as Tombstone. There's another character later who is obviously Electro, who is credited as Megawatt, which is fucking retarded. If you want to name him a villain and an electrical name, call him Kill-A-Watt. But anyway, I digress. Lonnie, that's Tombstone right here, he has agreed to talk to Robbie. Robbie obviously brought him to Ben's office to have that chat about what was done to them. Then all of a sudden he just clams up, refuses to talk about it. So what happens? Well, the whole reason that they said it here rather than, some coffee shop or diner or somewhere else they could talk, it was so this bitch, and I mean that intensely, I'm talking about the character, I don't know what the actress is like, but this bitch now gets to save the day. Yeah, I'm not fucking joking. Of course, then it just turns out to be a chance or an excuse for, and I had to look her name up, that's how little I care about this character, Janet. It became an excuse for Janet to be the hero of the scene. Yeah. The writing is just disjointed. It's well, I'll tell you later. Yeah, there's a reason there's a fucking laughing emoji on this one. This is an exterior window in a wall that didn't need to be there. The historical illiteracy of the people doing the fucking sets on this movie, or this show, is unbelievable. For no other reason than actor visual, they put an exterior window in an unnecessary wall. Now, I've clearly done more historical research doing this review than they did doing this show. Frank Lloyd Wright created open concept in the fucking 1900s. It was very common by this time. Yeah. Why? Why is there a window here? And someone's going to say, oh, well, maybe it was a converted apartment. No. There's no need to have a window there. You know what you'd normally have in an apartment like this? You'd have the pillar, and an open fucking space. You just have an open square. You don't need a window there. This looks like... It looks like they took an exterior wall, turned it backwards, put it in the middle of the shot, and just stuck a light switch to it. A prop light switch. That's kind of hidden back here. Yeah. Yeah, there's a reason I'm laughing at this. Yeah. And the historical illiteracy is just crazy, too. Also, this is supposed to be Ben Reilly at the height of his powers. In this modern age of CGI and costume trick, let alone the camera not necessarily having to have this shot, they still managed to show Cage's character at the height of his spidering, when he was the most active as a superhero, with a massive gut, in a depression, and the show makes him out to be an alcoholic. As an unattentive alcoholic during Prohibition. But yet, we'll see later, the way he behaves towards Kat is far different. It's far less diffident. It's far more simpering. Yeah. And there's comments I'll make there. Yeah. Time for the soapbox. Yeah. Fuck these deconstructivist, historically illiterate pieces of shit writing this show. Making this show. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Yeah, I have on the back of this page, I need to do a rant re deconstructionism, shit storytelling, and historical illiteracy. Okay, first, it's a period piece. It's set in the 1930s. Yet the language is not matching, the behaviors are not matching, the physicality, the physiques of some of these actors do not match people who are supposed to be having a hard time. The unbelievably fat secretary, the chubby superhero, the black reporter who is clearly educated, yet refers to other blacks as tall motherfucker. Fucking what? I'm honestly waiting for the N-word to drop in this movie at some point, in this show at some point. I expect it won't, but I would not be shocked if it did. And it'll absolutely come out of a white face before it comes out of a black one. Yeah, the historical illiteracy. I mean, I spent, for that bit about Frank Lloyd Wright, I spent 3 full seconds typing and have my answer. Why? Why is this so hard for Hollywood? And the shit storytelling. The storytelling that's all over the place. Character motivations make no sense from one scene to the next. Lonnie agrees to go and have a chat with Robbie about what was done to him. Basically about where his powers came from. Then, the next time you see Lonnie, he's refusing to talk. So why, if he's a superpowered character who is superhumanly strong, did he allow himself, as an ex-soldier for the record, why would he allow himself to be browbeaten into sitting in a chair in a place he didn't want to be, when he could have simply said, no? It doesn't make fucking sense. That's all we really need, is for your characters to do things that make sense. It's not that difficult. Speaking of characters doing things that don't make sense, yeah, we'll leave the deconstructionist thing alone because I've harped on that enough. But speaking of things that characters are doing that don't make fucking sense, that is Kat Hardy and Ben Reilly. And my note here is this. Seriously, she just lost one love of her life, Flint. Either the writing is scrapbooked again, which means they just went, oh, let's shoot a scene where this happens, let's shoot a scene where this happens, let's shoot a scene where this happens, and see if we can put them together in a way that makes fucking sense. Honest to God. Or, and this is a theory I developed out of sympathy for the writing. Excuse me. or Riley is playing a long con of his own now that he knows she's the rat and she was the one who put Addison up to trying to kill Silvermane. I really hope it's the latter. Spoiler alert, it's fucking not. Yeah. Speaking of historical illiteracy, Robbie here mentions that his older brother was a POW. To which, of course, Lonnie responds, "Oh, so was I." Black POWs were extremely rare in World War I, estimated at most to be numbered in the dozens. For both Robbie and Lonnie, for both Robbie's brother and Lonnie to have both been POWs is not only highly unlikely, it's almost ahistorical. Especially given, and this is another thing, they're both from Harlem. At least as far as I can tell. Well, Harlem was the black part of New York at the time, hence, they're probably both from Harlem. And the Harlem Hellfighters, I actually went to the trouble of finding out what the fuck the Harlem Hellfighters was. All-black unit. Never saw a single man captured, except for 2 who were caught during a raid and subsequently rescued before they could be sent to a POW camp. What the fuck? Two of the Harlem Hellfighters were captured during a raid, and that unit went and got them back. That would be a great piece for somebody whose focus is on history. Mine's not, at least not Black American history, anyway. Then we go to this one. The fucking look. Do you have to look like a petulant child in order to give someone a dirty look? Really? You want to give somebody a dirty look? You do that. Get grim. Not fucking childish. Grim. Jesus. Well, at least that scene gave us a little more about the power's origins. And of course it was the Germans. Yeah. The fucking language. The fucking writing in this. Sometimes the extremely vulgar and uncouth dialogue makes me wonder if it's historical deconstructionism rather than historical illiteracy. Do they just not care, or do they just not know, or are they intentionally trying to make the period look worse than it was for everybody? Except white men, because apparently white men are in fact the superior species, according to the writers of this, because the only people who behave poorly in uncivilized manners are the blacks and the women. Yeah. Let me see. What did I say next? Gleason. Gleason is... okay, I accidentally double-clicked that. Gleason is very... Now, he's a big dude. He is a big dude, so he's probably had some experience playing big dude roles where he was the heavy. But he is very good at looming intimidation. But I did say he's a bit better seated. Like, that's a face I wouldn't want to fuck with. What did I say for 23 here? Oh, this bitch. God, again with this. She is literally within arm's reach of that phone. It's supposed to be on her. It was on her desk earlier in this episode, actually. Now all of a sudden it's all the way out of her reach. Bullshit. Yeah. What did I say here? She is literally within arm's reach of the phone. It is on her desk. Well, it was. It might still be on the desk. And she orders Robbie with a gesture of a fairly dismissive, imperious gesture, go get that phone for me. You could have just called him House Negro and had done with it. Yeah, I had to write down, what a cunt. What a cunt she is, yeah. Or what a cunt she has been written to be. And I did have to say, I'll give the actress this. She does play a bitch well. Enough to be hateable. And, I mean, the best example of an actor who could play a character to be hateful is another Gleeson, who I think is the nephew of Brendan. That's Jack Gleeson, played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. If you didn't hate that character, you had no emotional being at all. Let's see. If this is in any part practical, I'm impressed. If it's all CG, I'm still impressed with how it looks. But, and it's a heavy but, I am reminded how many people told me it looked like the black and white just covered flaws in the CG. I'm not particularly adept at seeing flaws in CG. Like, they've got to be pretty friggin' blatant for me to see them. Oops. Oh. But, I mean, it's not bad. The web swinging sequences are kind of good. Not great, but kind of good. I'm still curious as to whether that's coming out of him, or if it's chemical, if it's chemistry based. Then I said, who the fuck is this guy? Let me see. Yeah, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, okay. He's Electro. No, he's actually, yeah, and I do have a note there. He's actually credited as Megawatt. Is that because he's a big chubby dude? Also, I will point out that the... oh, look at that. Fay Ray. I didn't notice that before. But I will point out the effects on the lightning probably look way better in black and white than they would in color. I haven't watched it in color. I'm not going to watch it in color. Once I'm done watching this in black and white, I will never look at this show again. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, with the who the fuck is that guy? There's a point where the spider turns and looks at Cat Hardy, who has appeared in the crowd, because everybody thought this was Flint Marko doing the attack on the Diamond District. And for some reason, he gets lost staring at her in the middle of a fight with a guy who could throw electricity around, and of course gets blasted off the pole and damn near dies. Should have probably been killed. Let's see. Yeah, I remain unconvinced that the writing is smart enough. Yeah, I'm now unconvinced again. After my sympathy theory earlier that Riley was running a long con, I'm back to being unconvinced that the writing is smart enough to have Riley running a long con on her. This is a bit blurry. He's swinging a sign, like he ripped a signpost out of the ground and battered him twice in the head with it. Not only did it not kill him, or even fuck him up particularly hard, it didn't even knock his fucking hat off. Really? Yeah. Didn't even knock his hat off. And terrible voiceover in ADR again. Ugh. Yeah. Plus, yeah, in the rest of this scene, he is basically just manipulated. Like a pushover was the word I found. The writing is illogical and deconstructionist. Yeah. Yeah. He oh god, it's not a hero. He's a milksop in the rest of this scene. Yeah, he takes down Megawatt, but yeah, and again, it's very obvious it is not Cage in that costume. But it doesn't stop Cage from acting like a, what the fuck is he doing here? Apparently he's popping his joints by doing this. He's stretching out the kinks. It just looks so weird. And again, I'm left wondering, did the director just not want to tell Cage no? Yeah, and then there's this weird shit sight gag. Yeah. You guys see it, right? She jumped out a window, and he caught her with the webs. You guys see it, right? mean if you have the slightest knowledge of the Spider-Man mythos at all, even if it's only the movies, assuming you've only seen the Garfield movies. Yeah. Tell me the production team knows nothing about Spider-Man without telling me the production team knows nothing about Spider-Man. And I mean, that includes the fucking movies. They didn't even watch the fucking movies. The Garfield movies, at least, they could have watched. And he's canon again now. Seriously, this move killed Gwen Stacy. So, is this supposed to show that Spider-Noir is better... Snoir. Yeah, I have S-N-O-N-O-I-R here. Snoir. So is Snoir better than the OG? I could almost accept better than Garfield, but he was just miscast. I honestly agreed with most of the assessments, being that Andrew Garfield was miscast. He was a bit too charismatic as a Peter Parker character. That said, still did a better job as a Spider-Man than Nick Cage does. Yeah. And then I had, all I wrote here for this one was, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, yeah. Because they end the shot with a kiss. They end the show with a kiss between the two of them. Riley, she pays people to kill other people for her. She is a bad person. What the fuck is wrong with you? And, yeah, I have my recommendation right below that. Don't watch this. Don't watch this show. Don't give this show a cent of a sou, to use an old French word. Don't give it a sou of your time. Yeah. So this is what's happening here, and the title of the goddamn show is A Mistake I'll Never Make Again. It's the title of the episode. How many more mistakes you gonna make, dickhead? Also, this doesn't happen in this episode. He does not confront the mayor in this fashion. So, did they make the episode tiles before they figured out what was actually going to be in the episode? Yeah. And I said again here at the end, how do the ratings for this show manage to go up each episode? Is it just the anticipation of the end of the series? Yeah, and on the back, yeah, I have this as well. Yeah, she's not... yeah, I found another word. Yeah, more historical research than the fucking production team did for the entire series. I did in this one fucking episode. The title is literally A Mistake I'll Never Make Again. And that's an obvious lie. This is not how you do subversion of expectations, fuckwits. This is how you make a bad show. I mean, she is literally someone who will hire a killer, and jump from lover to lover for the sake of being protected. She's a fucking herring, to use a 1920s, 1930s slang term. I was originally going to call her a hussy, but then I did a bit of research and discovered that hussy actually comes from housewife. I know, right? Anyway, folks, yeah, no, I can't recommend this in good conscience. Please, by all means, keep watching me, and if you want to see me keep freaking out over shit like this, go to the Ko-Fi. The ticker is going by right now. Perfect. Go over to the Ko-Fi, fling me a few bucks. If you do that on a monthly basis, I'll put your name in the ticker alongside ZenRab7 and Simon JJ. If you don't want to spend any money, you can like, share, comment, chat, follow or subscribe depending on the platform. Rumble takes a hell of a cut, so I'm asking, rather than you guys subscribe on Rumble, just send me some monthlies over on Ko-Fi. Or even a one-time. If you want to do a one-time and leave a comment, aces. If it's something to comment about this, and you still want to tip me, by all means, I'll read it out on the next one. Be sure to make sure you let me know what name you want to be referred to by, because I do know that sometimes Ko-Fi will produce the name that's on your bank account. So, careful. Or your email. Unbelievable mess. Yeah. I mean, just to find the proper descriptor for Cat Hardy. It's hard to keep these straight, and I'm actually a bit of a fan of the Spider-Man comics, to the point that I really like Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. Yeah. Pretty obvious where the naming system is coming from. But, and don't mind the big truck going by outside. But, I mean, I went to the effort to find a more appropriate term than hussy when I discovered that came from housewife. Yet these people, the writing in this, will have you believe that a high society woman would look at her husband and say, eat shit. Or that an educated black man would call another black man tall motherfucker. Really? Nobody should be buying this bullshit. Anyway, let's have a look at the cast and crew real quick. Written by Oren Uziel, Tori Sampson, Jennifer Friesen, and Megan Liao again. Producers, holy schnit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 co-showrunners. There's one of your problems. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different producers just for this episode. Oh, God. No wonder it sucks so bad. Nicolas Cage. Lamar Morris, you know what? He's doing a journeyman's job, sure. Lee Jun Lee, I don't like Janet Ruiz. The fact that they decided to go with Tombstone and Sandman, and then named this guy down... Where is he? He's not even credited? Really? The guy who played Megawatt. Not even credited. Fucking dirty. Yeah. Who have we got here anyway? Anybody I know from other stuff? No. The music was fine. Except for the opening theme. The music is fine. The director of photography, so he's the cinematographer. He's, I mean, give the guy a bit of break. He's doing the best he can. Rachel Tenner, you know, it is what it is. Set decorator, Helena Siwalop. How many jobs have you had as set decorator? Which I assume is the supervisory role. You've won a Primetime Emmy and been nominated 16 times. For what? Never mind. It's obvious why. Okay. Yeah, we'll close that off. Okay, so the trivia is the thing that I found most egregious in this entire show. When Cat Hardy lets herself fall out of Riley's apartment window to force him to save her using his powers, Riley shoots a web line to catch Cat by her waist and pull her back up. Now, I'm going to point out here that Riley was out of costume, so I find it unlikely that if he wears web shooters, he would have been wearing them. So I'm thinking it's probably the bio-organic stuff. This is similar to how Spider-Man tries to save Gwen Stacy when the Green Goblin tosses Gwen off the skyscraper in the comics, although Spider-Man's attempt results in Gwen snapping her neck or spine and dying. It's also what happens in the Andrew Garfield first or second film. Second film, I think, the one with Electro. Which I'm guessing is why they called the other guy Megawatt, because they didn't actually want to do a callback to Andrew Garfield. Which is fucking stupid, because that was better than this. Anyway, folks, let me get that cover back up. So that's the MMR for Spider Noir Season 1, Episode 4. Ugh. That's what I've got. That's the best I've got is, ugh. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lamps become lions. Now I have a lawn to go mow and a shower to have. Have a good day. Bye-bye.